this is Crypto CJ, and welcome to today's Trade of the Day. This is the Day in the Life of a Trader video. I posed this question a few weeks ago to see if people would be interested in this type of thing, to find out what I do as a full-time trader in my day. And I have a list of 16 things that I've written down that I do on a daily basis, and I'm going to share those with you today. I will probably break this video up into a few different parts, so let's get started. The first thing I do, and it's something new, I just started it on Monday, and I'm recording this portion of the video on a Tuesday afternoon, is check out Crypto Man Rand's channel. And I'll share my screen and show that to you. Phone, I just find this channel and I listen to it. There's a lot of excellent free advice on this as far as trading. It's a really good overview of the market. And this gentleman here, Sheldon the Sniper, on these two videos, and he's teaching how to manage portfolios and how to do swing trading and longer term trading, which is something I'm learning now. There's a lot of overlap in what Crypt Nation teaches and Token Metrics and some others that I've subscribed to, but haven't looked at as much because I enjoy day trading so much, because I want to get paid today. That's my, my favorite thing. But I know, that there's a good chance that if I hold coins longer and get in and out with longer time frames, I can be profitable as well. So I've started listening to this channel at 7 a.m. on a daily basis. So at 7:30, I dial up the Mentality Makeover starring Desirae King. She's a motivational speaker I learned about a year ago, and she has a call-in motivational message, lasts 5 to 10 minutes. It just gets my mind right. It's a feel-good kind of thing. She's challenging as well. I've interviewed her for my Crypto CJ Trade of the Day channel, so you might want to check that out. That was in January or February. We were on for 20 minutes or so. She's awesome. So I highly recommend 10 minutes with her Monday through Friday at 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. So I'll put her contact information in the description below. Next thing I do is I get up, go over to my computer, and go to the iCoinPro forum. And Justin Clark is the co-founder of iCoinPro, and he does his market analysis every morning. It's a view, or his interpretation of where Bitcoin has been and where it's going. And it's in the framework of iCoinPro and their micro profit system, the conservative day trading system that I like to refer people to when they want to get started with day trading. Justin's analysis is very helpful. It gets to the point, just a few paragraphs long. It saves me a lot of time. So after that, I check on Bitcoin myself. Justin's an early riser, and he's on Eastern time, so most likely there have been changes since his report comes out. So I look at the day chart, and these are my Fibonacci retracement values. So I look at those to see if there are any significant differences. I would be interested if something punched through the all-time high, or if it dropped in here in the 328 or the 50 to 618 range. These are critical areas in retracement evaluation. So that's on the day chart. I look at the hour chart as well, just to get a more recent view. And then obviously the 5-minute chart I have up pretty much all the time. If Bitcoin's dipping, that usually means the altcoins are going to dip as well. So, and the next thing I look at, now sometimes Justin addresses this particular issue in his in the forum in the morning breakdown, but this is Blockchain Whispers. Here's the website here, blockchainwhispers.com, and the BitMEX position calculator. What I'm interested in is this entry right here, the Binance BTC buys versus sells. If the longs are over 70%, that's often time to short. If the shorts are over 70%, that's actually time to go long. The contrarians are the ones who often make the most amount of money in any market. So I'm less interested in BitMEX and Bitfinex. These are older exchanges. People have been, leaving their Bitcoin on here forever. At least that's what Justin says. So he suggests we just focus on this value here. So again, this is something I look at a few times a week. He often addresses it in the forum, so I don't have to, but if he doesn't, then I'll look at it. So, and the next thing I look at is the iCoinPro Fear and Greed Index. Just real quick, get the overall look. If this is super greedy, that might be time to look at a short position. If it's, a lot of fear, that might be time to go long. So, and then we've also got the Oversold Index. Very little is oversold right now. So as you can see, we had the COVID thing in March of 2020. Everything was oversold. So, okay, next up is my iCoinPro RSI Rider analysis. So that's right here with the RSI Spy. Okay, so here we are on the RSI Spy on iCoinPro. Most of these value, I'm sorting by the 1 hour RSI. If I find something below 30 here, that's something I want to look at. If it's below 30 on the 1 hour and the 4 hour, and I actually had a couple of these today and yesterday, then those are coins that could come back with a vengeance, usually double digits. So this is one of my favorite sorts. Usually I don't find anything with this, but a few times a month I do. And most of the coins that are in here, especially recently, are Bitcoin pairs, which I don't like to trade. But this one here, DREP, it's below 30 on the 1 hour. It's 44 on the 4 hour. So not sure if that would be one I would jump in right away. But this value here, 27.42. Let's take a look. It lets me open up a trading view window, and should be the 5-minute chart for DREP. Sometimes I'll catch it in a dip trade. It looks like it's mostly going sideways and down. Nothing really here that catches my eye at the moment. If it's a coin that really interests me, I might put an alert, either for a specific value, here on the chart, or I might put one here in the RSI. We'll talk about the RSI alerts a little bit later. So that's how I look at the RSI Spy. And after that, I go to the Buddy Coin Crawler. And I sort these by average low to SMA line, the 24-hour low of the coin, to the SMA, which is the pink line, as you've seen on my charts, halfway between the Bollinger Bands. So got some really large values here. I'm looking for 5% or above, but we've got a lot of these way above. These, when it's something this high, it's got room to move. This Wink coin has been really moving lately, but it hit an all-time high, and it seems to be crashing down from that. So I don't know if this is something I would be interested in, but I would definitely take a look when I see a 24% drop like that. I mean, looking at the, let's say the 1 hour chart, here was the high on this coin, and it dropped, 40% in, less than a day. So could be set for a recovery, or could just be a crash and burn, not sure. So that's one I would look at. And on the Buddy Coin Crawler, there's others I would look at as well. Lately I've been looking at Altcoin Alert before iCoinPro. So let's jump over to Altcoin Alert. And we've got, ever since they changed the AA scores about a week and a half ago, we've gotten some really nice trades out of these. I'm in Dent and a couple in Metal and a couple of these others already based on the AA scores. Let's look at Stellar. So what I'm looking for is, a big, or at least a noticeable difference between the sentiment line here, the white one, and the green line, which is the actual score. As you can see, when sentiment jumps up, the price frequently follows. So right now they're about even. So this isn't a trade I would be interested in just based on this chart. Now there are other factors to consider as well. Sometimes I have to refresh this after I go back to it. So if I sort by AA score, I've got very bullish here. I've got fire under trading activity, under social activity. So these are encouraging. Bearish under short-term sentiment. Well, that's just an hour. Long-term sentiment's 24 hours. So bullish on that. I'm a day trader, not an hour trader. So making money in an hour is certainly appealing. I'm willing to wait a day. So based on these scores, I might look at this coin and see if it's something I want to get into. Let's check it out real quick. Okay, in the last day, I'm a little behind on my fib updates, but we had an all-time high of 61 in February. It has almost reached that again at about 57 here. So there's a little bit of room to retrace back to where it was in February, so that interests me. If I look at the hour chart, it hit that 57, 58 range, popped back pretty quickly. But it's trending back up towards it on the hour chart. On the 5-minute, I'm above the SMA line, MACD with a slight cross, RSI with a slight hook up. I might get in here. And retrace back to where it was, 4 a.m., maybe 6.46%. On a straight XLM trade, I might go into XLM up, leverage token on Binance, try to get 2 to 3x leverage on that. So, yeah, this one's a definite maybe. And then there's other ways to sort Altcoin Alert. I look at some of the bullish scores. Then I might sort based on trading activity. 1 hour projected range. I've done multiple videos on these kind of sorts, so you might want to check those out. Long-term sentiment, short-term sentiment, 24-hour change. My thinking is if it's over 30%, it's probably done for the day. If I can catch something 10 to 20%, that might have room to move. I might be interested in an OMG. Cream is a coin that Bryce recommended recently, actually this morning in the email. We'll look at that in a minute. And so these are some of the other coins I would check out as well. All right, so that does it for my Altcoin Alert search, and I will be back. Okay, I'm back for part 2 of a day in the life of a day trader, and got my Ethereum Lounge background going. See the Ethereum symbol there. And a quick recap of what I discussed involving Altcoin Alert and iCoinPro. If the market is in a dip sequence, especially if Bitcoin or Ethereum are dipping, I'm more inclined to look at iCoinPro first because the RSI Spy and the Buddy Coin Crawler are excellent tools for finding dip trades. And then if the market is going sideways or trending up, then I'm more inclined to look at Altcoin Alert, as that tool is better at pointing out trend trades. So keep those two things in mind depending on the market. Okay, next on my list, and I've got my cheat sheet over here to my left, is updating my RSI alerts. And I usually do those on the leverage tokens. I'm going to share my screen and I'll show you how I like to use the RSI alerts. I usually put them on the underlying coin. This to my right is my trading view lists. I have two main lists: the up and down tokens, which are leverage tokens 2 to 3x on Binance and FTX, and then I've also got my Fibonacci retracements. This is just my basic list of the coins I'm tracking. This is anywhere from 50 to 70 coins listed on this. And the green indicates that I have done a Fibonacci retracement analysis at some point on the token. So I'm going to go back to my up and down list because that one's smaller, and that one's discontinued. So in this process, if I'm evaluating a coin to trade, and if I don't need to buy it immediately, I will go ahead and update the Fibonacci retracement values. As you can see here on DOT, I haven't done that on this token for a couple of weeks. I'm recording this video on April 7th in the afternoon. It's been March 17th since I've updated this. So I sort of combine this task with my review, and it's just a matter of moving this line over here to the top and then readjusting these values, and that's how I update my Fibonacci retracements. Going over that in detail is beyond the scope of this video, but I probably should do a Fib retracement training at some point. But it took me weeks to get a hold of it, so I don't know if it's something I can put together in a 5 to 10 minute video and make it coherent enough for anybody to learn from it. But updating my fibs is something I do pretty consistently every day as a day trader. Let's go back to the RSI. So I mostly use the RSI on the 15-minute charts and the 1-hour charts. The longer time frame one uses for this strategy, the more likely it is to succeed. I was using the 5-minute charts, but the alerts were too frequent. The 15-minute charts are about every other day, so I'm getting some pretty good alerts and dip trades. Here's one I took this morning. As you can see, when DOT went down at 2 a.m., the RSI dipped below 30 and my alert went off and woke me up. So at that time, it was only in a second dip. I set what I thought was a low buy order. I was actually on DOT up because I like those leverage tokens. So let's go to that chart. So I set what I thought was a low buy order for 145, and it did pick that up at around 330. I was asleep, but it kept dropping. It's since come up and it's been going mostly sideways. I was up briefly at 153, then it's at 147 now, so I'm up slightly. I'm looking for a retrace on this particular trade to get back to around this 168, 170 range, so that'd be a really good trade. It probably won't happen until tomorrow or maybe the next day. If you want to put an alert on either the DOT up or any other chart, all you have to do is right-click in here, add alert, and then I always use 30 as the value. You can use 32 or 27 or something like that if you depending on how the coin's been moving, but 30 is pretty consistent for me. And you can put a note down here too, dip trade, ? Yeah, I know on my charts that if an alert goes off on a leverage token, that it's in a dip sequence, but you can use these alerts for anything you want. I really like them for this purpose, to help me hunt out dip trades. So I'm going to cancel that for now, because once you enter an alert, it's here until you get rid of it. So if you click on alerts over here to the right where the alarm clock is, it'll bring up all the alerts you've ever put in if you haven't deleted them. So I use these, as I indicated before, to find dip trades. And I also like these to set alerts for spot trades I'm in, to indicate when they've gone down, 8, 10%, 15%, depending on the range that I'm trading the coin. So if the alert's gone off, and a lot of them have, then I can just reset them. Like I'm in Aave now for the same reason I just showed you in DOT, so I can click on this restart, and now this one's live again. I can go through my list and reset as many of these as I want. I've got 40 or 50 alerts in here, different time frames, some going up, some going down. So I'm not going to go through them all here, but some of the hour ones did not go off last night, but most of the 15-minute ones did. So here's ADA up. I can restart this. Usually I have my alerts on the underlying coin, not the not the up or down coin, in case I use bear or bull on FTX or some other exchange. So that's how I update my RSI. Let's look at the next task. I talked about fib retracements. One of the things I do is I just check my email just like anyone else. I subscribe to different services, and I do get emails from Crypt Nation. Let's look at one of those. Okay, so here we are on an email that I received from Crypt Nation yesterday from Bryce Paul, one of the founders of Crypt Nation, and he is recommending OMG and Cream Finance as potential swing trades or long-term holds. I did look and evaluate both of these. I did go ahead and take the Cream Finance trade. Bryce suggested that it was a buy up to $180. I got in at about $148.79 or something like that. I'm going to hold this till it reaches this 200 to 300, just 280 to 300 range. This is not a day trade. It's what I call a swing trade. I'm hoping this does this in a few days to a few weeks. I don't want to be in this for a year, but I tried to learn swing trading last year. It's one of the reasons I joined Crypt Nation, but I just enjoy day trading more. So, but I can't ignore this, the strategy anymore. So this particular email helped me to find a token I otherwise would not have looked at. So good stuff on email. The next thing I look at is the Slack Altcoin Alert group. They have a few different channels within the Slack group to let us know that when things are happening. And today we got a significant development or a sig dev. Let's check that out. Okay, so here we are on the Altcoin Alert Slack group, and this is the sig dev that came in today. 1-inch engine, NKN, and OGN are launching on Coinbase Pro. These are the best sig devs to get. I was sitting in my chair in front of my computer when this zipped across my screen, and I was all over it. I looked at all of them. I excluded OGN. It was already too high, and I didn't think it had much room to go, but I bought into NKN, ENJ, and 1-inch. I did really well on NKN, over 11%, small profit on 1-inch, and I had a loss on ENJ because I got out too soon. That's on me. But anyway, these are the best sig devs to get. The new listings on Coinbase Pro or Binance can lead to trades of 5 to 10% fairly quickly. Or you can stay in them until the actual listing happens on those two exchanges, and sometimes do pretty well as well. I'm usually in them a short time. I'm usually in these trades a few minutes to an hour at the most. I set a stop loss on the ENJ trade when it didn't go my way right away. And in retrospect, I just should have set an alert and kept an eye on it like I usually do. But I've had some iffy experiences with the new listings, and I haven't quite figured out how best to do it. So anyway, but the Altcoin Alert Slack group, for the purposes of this video, is something I look at every day. I also look at the help channel to help people out. Send a little message here to Lynn. Open discussion. I was looking at this earlier around 3:30 my time, and made a couple posts here. So I check this out usually once or twice a day for half an hour to an hour, depending on where I think I can help or where I can obtain information, or both. So, all right, and then the next thing I do, and this is really throughout the day, is this is my yellow pad. See if you can see it. Oh, no. Here we go. All right, so I just do a handwritten contemporaneous log of what I trade. You can see the top trade there is ADA up, and that's my my entry point, how much money I made in the trade, my strategy, and then the time the trade happened. This one was 2 a.m. from one of those alerts I just showed you. And then after that, at some point, I'll enter it into my spreadsheet, and that's something I've made available to the group. The spreadsheet I use, I have a sample version that any of you guys can use. So if you want to send me an email, or email me at cryptocj13@gmail.com, and I'll go ahead and send you my spreadsheet, and you can use that. There are other sources for this kind of thing, for tracking your trades, but the ones I looked at I didn't care for, and I have extensive spreadsheet experience, so I just made my own. So, and then finally, I will look at the coins that I'm holding in my wallet. Let's just see what's going on with them. I usually have a pretty good idea before I look at my wallet, but I'm holding Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. I will probably invest them in some way, or maybe just hang on to them for a while, or stake them, or something like that. I just don't like having my coins sitting around. I'm staking some other coins. I've got small bags of XTZ and DOT and SOL that are doing pretty well. So I really don't think of those very often because they're not on my Binance or FTX screen. I like to move them off the exchange, so I'm not stressing out about them all the time. So, and the last thing I do on a typical day is check my crypto investments. I'm involved in 3 to 5 investments, evaluating others. Again, I don't like my crypto to just sit and not do anything. So I usually want to invest it or stake it or have it earn income for me. Passive income is awesome. It's actually quite addicting. So, but finding a good program in which to invest is difficult. So, a lot of scammers out there. But I try to, do my homework and check them out the best I can before I invest. Haven't always been successful, but anyway, I've had some success with earning passive income. So if you're interested in any of those projects, I usually put links and info in the comments below. That's about it for my trade of the day, the day in the life version. I hope my routine provides some value for anybody watching this video. Obviously, I don't expect you to duplicate it, but some of the analysis that I described in part 1 yesterday might be of value. And just having a routine is really helpful, I think, in this business or endeavor. And this is the one that I've created, and it's worked pretty well for me. So that's all I have. Please stay tuned for Well, I'm not going to run the additional messages this time, but please check the tools and resources in the comments below, and I will see you on the next Trade of the Day video. Thanks. Bye.